Hey, gals and guys, this is Christopher Mosier from MyMediaHelper.com. And for the holiday, I don't really have a Christmas sweater. I don't have anything red. I don't have anything green. I took a towel out of the closet. So I'm just gonna do this, and then I look a little festive, kind of a cross between festive and Superman. So I'm going to talk about the Santa Clauses. It's a 6-part series on Disney Plus. You can call it a mini series, I guess. If you put them all together, it's just a long movie. If you take out the credits and everything, I like the series a lot. It was good to see all these characters back together and doing their thing. They haven't lost a beat on it, and it was a funny series. You're not laugh out loud. You're not going to laugh out loud, but you'll chuckle to yourself. There's some good comedy in there. And of course, Tim Allen, he always gives you a chuckle here and there. So this is the original Santa Claus that came out in 1994, and then the other ones, Santa Claus 2 came out in 2002, and then Santa Claus 3 came out in 2006. And what I didn't realize is that, so I know he passed away, but I didn't realize he was in the original Santa Claus, and I'm talking about Peter Boyle, and he played Mr. Whittle. I don't remember Mr. Whittle. Maybe that was that Tim Allen's boss in the movie? I guess I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll have to go back and take a look. And the effects were pretty crude. They really aged for the first Santa Claus. But I consider it a holiday classic as far as I'm concerned, along with like Elf and A Christmas Story. And then Peter Boyle was in, it doesn't look like he was in the Santa Claus 2. That's where they introduced the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, the Sandman, and so on. Michael Dorn from Star Trek The Next Generation played the Sandman. Jay Thomas, I didn't realize, passed away in 2017. He's been in tons of stuff over the years, and I believe he died from throat cancer, so I did not know that. That was 5 years ago. Kevin Pollak played Cupid, the comedian. You might know him by doing the James T. Kirk impression. Asha Tyler, she went on to be in like some FBI or CSI series or something like that. And Art LaFleur, who played the Tooth Fairy, I didn't realize that he passed away either. He passed away a year ago, I do believe, and I'll have the pictures of where are they now, or what they look like now compared to their movie characters as you process through this video. It's towards the end of the video, so make sure you keep watching and check that out. It's pretty interesting what they look like after all these years. And so as far as the Santa Claus is concerned, you got Charlie in there. I don't think I'm giving anything away. He makes an appearance. Bernard's in there. He's in the commercial. So I don't think I'm giving anything away. He pops up. So it's good to see them again, although aged, especially Bernard. It's not, we're all getting older, I guess. So he's a little more puffier than he was in the other movies. And then, of course, Elizabeth Mitchell. Oh, Elizabeth Mitchell is just as beautiful as she was when she originally started in the Santa Claus 2. And, of course, she plays Mrs. Claus. Oh, my God. She aged gracefully and beautifully. And then, of course, Tim Allen's looking rough. Well, he's not looking rough. He's just looking old. We're all looking old. What can I say? So let's go on. Let's learn a little bit about the Santa Clauses and the first 3 movies. Let's check it out. The Santa Claus is a 1994 American Christmas comedy film written by Leo Benvenuti and Steve Rednick and directed by John Pasquin. And the first installment in the Santa Claus franchise stars Tim Allen as divorced dad Scott Kelvin, who has custody of his son on Christmas Eve. After he accidentally kills a man in a Santa suit, they are magically transported to the North Pole, where an elf explains that Scott must take Santa's place before the next Christmas arrives. Scott thinks he's dreaming, but over the next several months, he gains weight and grows an inexplicably white beard. Maybe that night at the North Pole wasn't a dream after all, and maybe Scott has a lot of work to do. So the film was shot at Raleigh Studios in Hollywood, California, and on location in the Greater Toronto Area, with Oakville serving as the city of Lakeside, Illinois. The reindeer used in the film were all from the Toronto Zoo, and the trains used in the North Pole scene and the start of the film were all made by LGB. Bill Murray and Chevy Chase were offered the role of Scott Kelvin, but both turned it down. Chase declined due to scheduling conflicts, and Murray did not want to do another holiday-themed movie after doing Scrooged. Tom Selleck, Tom Hanks, and Mel Gibson were also considered for the role. Jeff Daniels, Stanley Tucci, and Bradley Whitford were considered for the role of Neil Miller. Patricia Richardson, Patricia Clarkson, Patricia Heaton, geez, a lot of Patricias, and Kate Burton were considered for the role of Laura Miller. The Santa Claus grossed $145.3 million in the United States and Canada, and $45 million in other territories for a worldwide total of, drumroll, $190.3 million, and you know what that means, don't you? In July 2000, it was announced Disney intended to move forward with a sequel to The Santa Claus, with the initial draft written by Don Reimer, where Scott Kelvin has been in the role of Santa for the past 8 years, and his loyal elves consider him the best one ever. But the world of the many merry old soul turns upside down when he's dealt a double whammy of news. Not only has his son, Charlie, landed on this year's naughty list, but Scott discovers that he must marry by Christmas Eve, just a month away, or he will stop being Santa Claus forever. During its opening weekend, The Santa Claus 2 generated $29 million, more than its predecessor, and was ranked in first place at the box office. While the film was overtaken by 8 Mile a week later, it still made a total of $24.7 million. It would later go on to compete against Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and Die Another Day. These 3 sequels would win the Thanksgiving weekend, and the film would run strong at the box office while dominating Disney's other film, Treasure Planet. I never even heard Treasure Planet. The Santa Claus 2 grossed $139.2 million in the United States and Canada and $33.6 million in other territories for a total of $172.8 million against the production budget of $60 million. You know what that means, don't you? The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, is a 2006 American Christmas comedy film directed by Michael Lembeck. The film features Martin Short as Jack Frost. Allen and Short had previously worked together in the 1997 Disney comedy film, Jungle to Jungle. To note, this was actor Peter Boyle's final film to be released before he died from cancer 1 month after its release, and its production was completed in February of 2006. Christmas cheer turns into holiday chaos when Scott Kelvin, a.k.a. Santa, invites his in-laws, played by both Anne Margaret and Alan Arkin, for a visit and must simultaneously contend with Jack Frost's scheme to take over the North Pole. Scott, his family, and head elf Curtis must join forces to foil the nefarious plot. And the Santa Claus 3 made $840 million in North America and a worldwide gross of about $110 million and some change. The first film made $189 million worldwide at the box office, while the second made $172. I guess at this point, I believe the fatigue clause was added to the franchise, both by the creators and the audience. And as we all know, much larger franchises mostly end up with just a trilogy and don't overstay their welcome like some. I'm talking to you, Die Hard. I'm talking to you, Police Academy. Not you so much, James Bond. In the recent years, as we all know, everything from the 80s and the 90s is reintroduced with either a reboot or a continuation of the original story. It's been going on for a while now, so why the hell not the Santa Claus series? The Santa Clauses is an American Christmas comedy miniseries created by Jack Burditt for Disney Plus and based on the Santa Claus film series. It serves as a continuation and sequel to the Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, and features Tim Allen, Elizabeth Mitchell, Eric Lloyd, and David Krumholtz reprising their roles from the film series. Jack Burditt serves as showrunner and executive producer, and it premiered on Disney Plus on November 16th of 2022. Scott Kelvin is on the brink of his 65th birthday and realizing that he can't be Santa forever. He's starting to lose a step in his Santa duties, and more importantly, he's got a family who could benefit from a life in the normal world, especially 3 kids. Actually, one that grew up in Lakeside, Illinois, who's Charlie, and 2 other that grew up at the pole. With a lot of elves, children, and family to please, Scott sets out to find a suitable replacement Santa while preparing his family for a new adventure in a life south of the pole. In January of 2022, it was announced that a limited series that will serve as a legacy sequel to the Santa Claus films was in development, with Tim Allen reprising his role, in addition to serving as executive producer. Initially given the working title of The Clauses, the project was conceptualized with the intent of a streaming release exclusive to Disney+. The series began filming in March 2022 in Los Angeles, with J.P. Wakayama serving as the cinematographer. Filming wrapped on June of 2022. There wasn't really any true antagonist throughout the series. Cale Penn, I guess, was supposed to be the antagonist, but he was more misguided than an antagonist. He wasn't like the Martin Short character. And so it was his arc as far as, and I think Amazon tried this a long time ago, if not still trying it. Basically what Amazon was trying to do is have drones deliver their packages to people, and this is kind of where I think this concept came from. So instead of having Christmas once a year, Cale Penn wanted it every day of the year, and people could get whatever they want on the spot. So at any time of the year, and the concept is it took away the spirits and so I think the concept was more it took away the spirit of Christmas, and because it was all year round, and it became less special. And then there was this little ball where you could gauge Christmas spirit, and it was getting all dark due to that. And also Tim Allen had an arc as far as he's got a family now. Does he want to be Santa Claus anymore? So he wants to retire, maybe give his family some normalcy. And then he found this Cale Penn character to take over, and he took over, but he was doing it the wrong way. And as the Christmas spirit goes away, all the elves started to disappear, and it was a snowball effect for him. So he wasn't really evil. He's just misguided. So there was really, I mean, there was the concrete story, but there weren't risks. You knew what was going to happen, and it's predictable, and that's okay because it was enjoyable, and I really recommend the series. Check it out if you like the first three movies. If you're a fan of the Santa Claus movies, definitely check it out. It's just like the rest of them. It's written the same way. It's you got all your same characters, and it's got the same joy and warmth, and it's definitely a family viewing, which is great. So there's always, it's like recently, like all these movies where the Christmas spirit is going to be lost, or Santa Claus is disingenuated over the holidays. It seems to happen a lot in these recent movies. I don't know. Maybe it's the sign of the times, but yeah, check it out. And that is my review of the Santa Clauses. I liked it, enjoyed it a lot. I thank you as always. I appreciate you as always. And certainly if you can give me a Christmas present and subscribe if you haven't already. Certainly like this video. If you like this video, thumbs up. Thumbs up it 20 times. If you dislike this video, thumbs that up again. And you can share it with other Christmas movie aficionados, and then certainly hit the bell for updates. I've got some more coming in the next 7 days. I've got free streaming service movies each day at a different streaming service. My reviews for them, and you can jump on those streaming services and watch them. And other such nonsense right up to the new year. And then when the new year hits, I'll probably get back to some more tutorials, computer tutorials. I believe Drupal is something I'm going to do tutorials on, and whatever else comes up, whatever else comes to mind. Oh, excuse me, all this coffee. All right, guys and gals, if I haven't said it or you haven't heard it from me before, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and hopefully you'll check out the upcoming days' videos and see what movies are naughty and what movies are nice. All right, talk to you later. Bye.